Alright, first impressions time. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. First off, I'm having a good time playing the game. I'm having a really good time playing the game. It is huge. The world is extremely huge, especially when you get further into the game. It really opens up. I have to say that it starts off a bit slow. Like the game kind of started off a bit slow. I was doing a lot of like telling guards and stuff like that, and I was like, man, this is kind of lame. But you know, I'm also filming for YouTube, so that probably had a little bit to do with it as well. But once I got into sequence 3, which is, you know, still pretty fairly early on in the game if you're just going straight through the story, it freaking opened up, and I was like, holy moly, dude, there's so much stuff to do. If you love collecting things in games, you will love this game. There is tons of stuff to collect. I'm doing videos for all that stuff to enjoy. I love collecting stuff in games, especially when it fits kind of the motif of the game itself. I think we can all agree that sometimes collectibles can be a little bit arbitrary because, I don't know, they have nothing to do with the story, or they don't really add any elements to the story. Well, this kind of does. I mean, you find, you know, letters in bottles from people talking to people, and yeah, you know, obviously you're finding treasure, and when you fit all that stuff into being a pirate, it makes sense that you'd want to get out there and kind of adventure some and collect things. I mean, it just makes sense. Now, in terms of the story, I haven't really got that deep into the storyline yet. There was a pretty big curveball kind of at the beginning of the game that threw me for a loop that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around, but that's a good thing. You know, a good game is going to keep you guessing all the way through to the very end, and same way with movies and everything else that's like in that type of, you know, format in terms of media. If it keeps you guessing until the end, it has absolutely done its job. So I think the biggest thing that you guys may want to know from me is what I think about the graphics. I'm fine with the graphics. I think a lot of people are trying to compare it to PlayStation 4 and, you know, all this kind of stuff. I just don't think there's going to be that much of a graphical leap between PS3 and PS4, being as this game was built for both of the consoles. Now, granted, I haven't played, you know, the PS4 version or the Xbox One version of the game, but my assumption is that, you know, it's pretty much going to be, you know, kind of identical. I know all the trailers and stuff that we saw with the high fidelity type graphics, they look the same on the PS3. I mean, it's the same thing. I think the only thing that may change may be maybe some of the environment type stuff. I mean, you may get better lighting or something like that in certain areas, maybe a little bit more rain. But all in all, I think it's going to be pretty much the same game. So I'm actually cool with the graphics. I think a lot of games on PS3 and 360 have great graphics, you know. Don't really see a need to up the graphics at all. But I mean, obviously I'm ready for the next gen consoles to see better graphics, but at the end of the day, it's not a deal breaker for me. Now, I will say, even though I just said I'm not worried about the graphics too much, there are instances where the character models look a little bit stiff, and, you know, their mouth doesn't always fit the words they're trying to say. Again, I think I've just been spoiled by playing Beyond Two Souls and The Last of Us, that I feel like every game I play from here on out that does not do motion capture, I'm just not gonna be happy with the way that the characters look on screen. I'm just never gonna be happy, just because of the way that those games were done. Now, another negative thing I would have to say about this is I feel like that the combat system, I don't know if they tweaked it or not, but it feels tweaked, and I feel like it's tweaked in the wrong direction. I really did love the combat in Assassin's Creed 3. It felt very smooth and intuitive. I don't know, it just felt really good. This one, sometimes it feels a bit clunky. Sometimes I'll stab people with my sword, and the sword won't even go near their body. It'll like stab into the ground, and they'll get hurt. Sometimes I'll be you know, hunting down animals, and I'll go to skin an animal, and I'll reach down to like grab it, and it's floating in the air. I mean, there's all this kind of like problems with the game that are very minute, I guess, very detail oriented, but for a guy like me who pays close attention to detail with everything that's in his brain, it irks me out. It absolutely irks me out. Now, some of this may be due to the fact that maybe they're trying to build the code for PS3 and PS4. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. Maybe the PS4 won't have these type of graphical glitches, but they are there. The main thing that I want to convey with this video to you guys is I can't put this game down. Okay, I got it last night. Obviously, I was home probably by about, I have a Walmart down the road from me. So I was home 10 or 15 minutes after it came out and started playing it and started putting up videos, started editing. What I would do is I'd play for a couple hours and edit for a couple hours and play for a couple hours. And I'm still awake. It's, you know, 6 o'clock or so by the time I'm filming this. You guys are probably going to see this later on tonight. And I am not tired at all. I mean, normally I would be getting tired about right now, but I'm just jazzed up, man. I'm about to eat when I finish this commentary, and I'm gonna dig back in to some Assassin's Creed because it's just fun, man. It's just fun. I mean, like I said, if you like other Assassin's Creed games, you know, this is right up your alley. If you don't like the other Assassin's Creed games, then it's probably not for you. But for people like me who love to collect things in games that's contextual and that actually makes sense for me to want to be collecting them, there's just so much to do, man. Forts to take down. I mean, you can do, you can get chests, you can get animus fragments, you can do challenges. Just about everything you do in this game, there's a record of it. Now, the last thing I want to say about it is just the way that Assassin's Creed delivers their games. The way their menus are set up, the colors, the scheme. I don't know what it is about Assassin's Creed games, but if you go back and you play all the Assassin's Creed games, the menu systems are absolutely amazing. Like, they're 3D, they're not flat, you know, they're not just text-based, they have pictures. I mean, they have like the Animus database that's pretty much like an encyclopedia for everything that is in this game. I remember there was a sequence at the beginning of the game where I get a file. I don't want to give too much of the storyline away, but I get a file and I look in it, and it's a handbook for Abstergo. It's like an entire handbook PowerPoint presentation. It tells me what my, you know, the job title is, and, you know, the way that they do their hours and their shifts, and it's almost like I went and got a job at Abstergo in real life and they said, here's your employee handbook. It's that detailed. And that's one thing I love about the Assassin's Creed franchise over just about every other game out there, is the way that they take time to really make their menu system a part of the experience and not just something you go to just to check something. Like, I find myself just in the menu system at times checking stuff out because it almost feels like I should be there. And in most cases, when you go into a menu system in most games, it's like, God, I'm ready to get out of here and get back to the game. But it seems like in Assassin's Creed games, the menu system is just as, you know, much of an important role in the game as the game itself. Okay, guys, so I am enjoying the game. I am gonna let you guys go so I can get to eating because I'm hungry, hungry hippo, and I'm gonna come back and play some more. Videos will be coming all night long, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this show. I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys be good.